Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Before reciting Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shri Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad Bhagvatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Nama Pankaj Nabhaya Nama Pankaj Maline Nama Pankaj Netraya Namaste Pankajangriye. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Granth-raj Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 11, The Perfect Society. The perfect four classes, the four social orders. So we were discussing about the duties of respective classes, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, etc. And how in times of emergencies, which is present in this day and age, and that's what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, that even the Chandala can become a topmost Vaishnava. And there are so many proofs of that. So let's see the next shloka, text number 18 onwards. This is together, three verses, 18, 19, and 20. Ritam ritabhyam jiveta mritena param mritena va satyan artabhyam apiva na swavritya kadachana ritam unchashilam proktam amritam yad ayachitam ritam tu nitya yachana syat pramritam karshanam smritam satyanritam cha vanijyam swa vitti nicha sevanam varjayetam sada vipro rajanyascha jugupshitam sarvaveda mayo vipra sarvadeva mayo nripaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. In the time of emergency, one may accept any of the various types of professions known as Rita, Amrita, Mrita, Pramrita, and Satyanrita. But one should not at any time accept the profession of a dog. The profession of Uncha Shila, collecting the grains from the field, is called Rita. Collecting without begging is called Amrita. Begging grains is called Mrita. Tilling the ground is called Pramrita. And trade is called Satyanrita. Engaging in service of low-grade persons, however, is called Shwavritti, the professions of the dogs. Specifically, the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas should not engage in low and abominable service of Shudras. Brahmanas should be well acquainted with all the Vedic knowledge, and Kshatriyas should be well acquainted with the worship of demigods. Purport. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasha. The four divisions of human society were created by the Supreme Lord according to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them. Formerly, the principle of dividing human society into four sections, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, was strictly followed. But because of gradual neglect of the Varnashrama principles, Varna Shankara, Varna Sankara population developed, and the entire institution has now been lost. In this age of Kali, practically everyone is a Shudra, Kalau Sudra Sambhavaha. And finding anyone who is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya is very difficult. Although the Krishna consciousness movement is a movement of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, it is trying to re-establish the divine Varnashrama institution. For without this, the division of society, there cannot be peace and prosperity anywhere. So the emergency duties were discussed in the last verse, and this verse continues the different types of Rita, Amrita, etc. But going back to what is Prabhupada's vision, that anyone and everyone can take to Krishna consciousness, and that is the divine Varnashrama institution, or Devi Varnashrama. We were discussing that yesterday also. It does not object anyone based on their birth or their education, their abilities, their color of skin. Prabhupada made this international society for Krishna consciousness, where anyone and everyone is welcome, and based on their propensity, their physio-sociological nature, they can engage in different services. That's basically Devi Varnashrama. It's not that in a temple everyone is doing the same worship or the same service. Someone is cleaning the toilet, someone is doing the deity worship, someone is bringing the water. In an absolute sense, in a spiritual sense, if the consciousness is correct, then both get the same benefit. And that is the power of Devi Varnashrama. And Prabhupada is clearly mentioning that without this, the society cannot be peaceful. Society cannot prosper. So right now the division is there. We cannot say that there is no division. There is division. In every company, there's a general manager and there's a janitor. So the division is there, but when it is based on selfishness. But in the Devi Varnashrama, it is based on selflessness. Krishna consciousness as the center. So, any other comments, questions anyone has? Okay. Let's read the next verse who has not read this week. Anyone who has not read so far, feeling inspired to read? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji and all devotees. Text 21. Samodama tapa saucham santosha shanti archavam jnanam daya achyuta atma tvam satyam cha brahma lakshanam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The symptoms of a Brahmana are control of the mind, control of the senses, austerity and penance, cleanliness, satisfaction, forgiveness, simplicity, knowledge, mercy, truthfulness, and complete surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. In the institution of Varnashrama Dharma, the symptoms of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi are all described. The ultimate aim is Achyuta Atmatvam, to think always of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa or Vishnu. To make advancement in Krishna consciousness, one has to become a Brahmana with the above mentioned symptoms. Back to you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So, thank you so much, Lakshmi Mataji. The symptoms of Brahmana are shared, the qualities. And if we go back, it's very much similar to the 21 qualities we read before as well. Shama is same. To control the mind. Right now, the mind is so fickle. As Arjuna says, it's very, very, I can control the mighty wind, but mana is very, very chanchal. Dhamma is to control the senses. Tapa, austerity, penance. Shaucham, cleanliness. Then santosha, satisfaction. Then shanti, forgiveness, being unagitated by anger. All these are divine qualities. Arjavam, simplicity, simple living, high thinking. Jnanam, knowledge, studying the Shastras, the Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita, etc. Daya, mercy, on not just for the external body, but also understanding our true identity, because compassion for the outside body is like is misplaced compassion. Actually, it is not true compassion. Then achyuta atmatvam, accepting oneself as the eternal servant of the Lord. And then truthfulness. So these are the qualities the Brahmana should develop. Now, that's not the case. Oh, I'm not a Brahmana. Prabhupada is clearly mentioning to make advancement in Krishna consciousness, one has to become a Brahmana with above mentioned symptoms. So it is, we can put our name here. To make advancement in Krishna consciousness, I have to develop these systems. Oh, Shubhavilas Govindas, please develop these symptoms if you want to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. We ask this question, how to make advancement? Prabhupada, each and every word, each and every line, purport, translation is a letter to us, are the words for us, for our purification. We should take it personally. The more personally we take, the more we will advance. It is not just to be read and just keep on moving. I should see, okay, these qualities are at very high level, but how can I make progress? How can I do better? How can I please Prabhupada? Prabhupada is directly telling me to make advancement in Krishna consciousness, I should develop these systems, symptoms or qualities, truthfulness, surrender. Basically, that ties to the whole process of bhakti. Each quality, we can discuss for one whole class, but let's keep on moving. Any other comments, questions anyone has before we move to the next verse?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sudhariya, go ahead.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So in the previous verse, Prabhupada also mentioned that practically everyone is a Shudra. But I think my understanding is by developing these qualities, even a Shudra, can become Brahmana by following these principles of Krishna consciousness, right, Prabhuji?
Absolutely. That's the proof. So many of Prabhupada's disciples were not born in high-class Brahmana family. They were doing things which unbrahmanical things, meat eating, intoxication, etc., etc. But by the power and association of a great devotee and following his teachings and rendering service to Srila Prabhupada, they completely gave up those unbrahmanical things and followed a very pure life. Same with the Haridas Thakur's association, that prostitute completely got transformed. So there is hope for us as well. And these are live examples. It's not that these are like 5,000 years back this happened. This is live examples. So many devotees. And every devotee's story is so inspiring. Each and every one. So yes, absolutely. Any other comments, additions? Brother Prabhu, you were speaking something?
Yeah, done with everybody. As you mentioned everything practically, the whole point is that and you also said, Srila Prabhupada has given the process already. So if we follow that process, which is given by Srila Prabhupada, then Syasi Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana, as I said, the shloka is there, where all these qualities will automatically develop because they are there dormant within our heart in all living entity. It's just we follow the process with understanding that, we follow the process, then those qualities will automatically will manifest within our heart. And we see in the devotees who has seriously take up the process, not mechanically. That's another thing, because we can, we can be mechanically do many things. See, I can chant my rounds mechanically. I can do many things. Prabhu, I'm going to the temple every day morning. That's good. But keep that in mind. Be conscious about it. That's, you already mentioned everything. So that's my point. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Someone has a question or comment?
Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji. So in the previous, and we saw also in the few other verses, that Brahmanas and Kshatriyas should not engage in the low and abominable service of Shudras. But after reading Bhagavatam for so many years with you and under guidance, and if I sum up the previous verse and the current verse that just Mataji read, that by quality, we should be a Brahmana. Devotees is a better Brahmana. But whatever job we are mostly doing the Shudra's job. We are working under somebody. So we can continue our job, though Prabhu also said here, but our consciousness is be a devotee. It's okay, right? Though we are not maintaining the Varnashram in that sense, but we are by consciousness, by practice, we are devotee, but we can continue our work, though it is breaking our Varnashram dharma. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Even in temple, I know so many examples. Sannyasi or second initiation devotee, even sannyasi is washing toilets. So washing toilets, as per the social class, is externally a low activity, right? Cleaning toilets. But therefore, Prabhupada is mentioning we were trying to re-establish the Daivi Varna, the divine Varnashrama system. That's what we have to focus on. Because if one thinks, oh, I'm a Brahmana, I'm second initiated, so I'm special. Oh, I will not clean the toilets, or I will not wash the dishes. That defeats the whole purpose of spiritual progress. Spiritual progress means ready to do anything. The great king of Puri, sweeping the floor. There's a famous story that how his marriage proposal was denied of the Gajapatis. He said, oh, I don't want my daughter to get married to a Bhangi, who is a street sweeper. But he is Lord Jagannath's street sweeper. So the point is that when it is connected, so our goal is not Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra. These principles help based on one's physiosociological nature to dovetail that propensity to serve Krishna. Now, everyone cannot do deity worship. Everyone cannot memorize scriptures. Someone is good at cooking. They will do cooking. They'll say, don't bother me with these verses and all. Don't bother me. It's not their nature. That's absolutely fine. But they express their love for Krishna by cooking. So our goal should be, and we read Prahlad Maharaj's teaching. He said all these principles are not the real thing. Bhakti is the real thing. He completely said that. Not by austerity, not by cleanliness, not by yajna, jnana, tapa, not by all these things. So therefore, Prabhupada is emphasizing divine varnashrama system, which means that based on our nature, live a simple life, try to follow these principles, but the essence should be bhakti. And in that, yes, as I said, even sannyasis clean toilets. It's not even so, because the essence is to serve Krishna and to see everything in that perspective, not as high or low, because everything is equally purifying.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
If I'm wrong, please correct me. I think Vipul's question is that he is putting himself, that if I'm wrong, Vipul, please correct me. If I understood wrong, please correct me. What you're saying is that because I'm doing a Sudra job as a course it's not Sudra, as a doctor, so how am I gonna be considered to be a Brahmana? Is that the question? Is that right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Even I become, I'm trying.
Yeah. So
You can try to be Krishna consciousness and be a Brahmana,
yeah.
but job will have to do, and being a Shudra.
Yeah. But see, so I mean, Suvilas is saying the yes, like IT, doctor, business, like business of Vaishya, right? We are doing that, but the point is that our, as Suvilas is saying, our goal is, this is what we have, this is what the nature we have acquired, right? You are good at the doctor. I'm good at a Vaishya probably. But what is our ultimate goal? Ultimate goal is, as we know, we use our fruit of our activities in service of the Lord. And ultimately, from reading the scripture, from understanding that this is what our nature is, but that does not mean that I'm working as a doctor, means I'm Sudra and I'm not. No, that is not the point. If we are, Srila Prabhupada has said, if we follow 16 rounds, follow for regular principle, chant Hare Krishna, and do whatever service we in our time, just like reading the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, associating, then ultimately Krishna is going to make an arrangement in our life. When the time will come, then you're going to retire from the doctor and you will take up Krishna consciousness fully. At that time will come in the future, you see. But we are on the process. We are at least on the process going toward that. And as you say that, it's not, Krishna consciousness is above all this varnashram system. Krishna consciousness is above the varnashram system. It is above varnashram system. And as you mentioned, Sula, yeah, we clean. I mean, we have washed the parts, we have cleaned the toilets in the Krishna consciousness, but that was part of the devotional service. We did it, and we do it all the time. I hope that so don't be discouraged. Just go on. You use your money in the service of the Lord. That's the main thing. Fruit of your activities. And thank you.
Prabhuji, it's a small follow-up question. So is that the difference between the Varnashrama system and the Daivi Varnashrama system? Like, even though we are doing kind of a Shudra job, but at the same time, we are also doing Krishna consciousness. So that is the difference, Prabhuji?
Yeah, we are in the, you can say we are in the, in one sense, we can say that, yeah, we are in the Varnashram system, because we are doing that. We know our goal. We know our goal, what we doing for. We have taken responsibility. So we have this profession. So we have to go on with that profession and maintain it. But the time will come When Krishna will arrange, believe me, Krishna will arrange himself. If you have a strong desire, Krishna within the heart and Krishna outside from Cheta Guru outside as a spiritual master, he will guide us as the time goes, and we will do that. Automatically we will do that. I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And Sudhir, Prabhu, to your comment, as we know that we're establishing the Varnashrama system or even Devi Varnashrama system was Prabhupada's dream, and we are still quite far from it. Varnashrama system is very, very natural and sattvic life. We are very, very far from that simple living, high thinking kind of state. But doing anything immaturely and artificially also will not kind of help. So we can start with those who are trying to do it and learn from it and see what we can, more and more we can apply those principles, live a simple life, live a more natural life, more close to like some of the devotees in India are doing, self-sustained communities. Their schools are like a Gurukul model. Their farming is done by devotees, free from all pesticides. Right now, we are in a very, very kind of unhygienic and an unhealthy environment where everything is contaminated with chemicals and pesticides. So, Varnashrama system means self-sustenance and more natural, not ugra karma. All these systems are there, and some devotees are trying to do that and work on those like cow protection, farming, and of course business also. But so we cannot say that yes, this is Devi Varnashrama, just continue doing your job, and that's more like karma yoga and nishkam karma yoga if the intention is to do only for Krishna. But yes, this will slowly help us to advance in that direction. Support cow protection, support the brahmanas, or those who are selflessly trying to do something to please Prabhupada. Yes. It should always be, you should always have the bar high. Because if I feel, no, I'm doing everything which Prabhupada is saying, and so I will become content. And in spiritual life, yes, there should be satisfaction, but a devotee is always unsatisfied. Santushta here means materially satisfied, but spiritually there should always be craving. What next? How can I do better now? How can I do more? What I need to improve now? How can I increase my sadhana, my seva, my character, my sadachar, my relationship, every aspect, always trying to do better and improve.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's read the next verse, text 24 or 20.
22, Prabhuji.
Oh, sorry, 22, yes. Who would like to read? Did you read? You want to
I
read?
can read. Sure, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Shauryam Viryam Dhartistejas Tyagas Chatmaya Yakshama Brahmanyata Prasadascha Satyam Cha Kshetra Lakshanam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. To be influential in battle, unconquerable, patient, challenge, and charitable, to control the bodily necessities, to be forgiving, to be attached to the Brahmanical nature, and to be always jolly and truthful. These are the symptoms of a Kshatriya. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, as we kind of discussed earlier also, here Srila Prabhupada is clearly describing the qualities of a symptoms of the qualities of Kshatriya, who is very influential in the battlefield, unconquerable, patient. He needs to have a lot of patience, challenge, and of course charitable, because the kings were always charitable, and to control the bodily necessities, and of course to be forgiving. We see how Lord Rama ruled uh, his kingdom. Not even a small thing. Even you can see that a washerman just said something, and for that he has to send Mother Sita away. That was how much painful. But at that time kings like, of course, he is none other than Lord Krishna, but they were very, very truthful to what they stand. Of course, it's very painful even to just remember that, but it's all Krishna's mercy for us to teach and to be attached to the Brahminical nature, and to be always jolly and truthful. These are the some of the qualities and symptoms. Please approach. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sudev Prabhu. So the previous verse spoke about the Brahmana. This verse talks about Kshatriya. I think it's very, very straightforward that how they are the protector, and therefore they have to be very, very influential, powerful. They're the Kshatriya, one who can destroy the Shatrus. Shatra iti Kshatriya. The one who can destroy the Shatru or the enemies is Kshatriya. So therefore they have to be strong to the enemies, yet very kind and forgiving to those who need protection. Today's so-called Kshatriyas or kings are opposite. They are very kind to those who have power because they need support from big influential businessmen. Even if they do malpractices or illegal, unethical means, they will just, because they are supporting their political agendas and things like that. And to those innocent people who hardly have anything, to impose high taxes on, we learned before that Kshatriyas are not supposed to impose taxes on Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So today's situation is totally opposite. Kshatriyas have power, yes, but the power should be utilized in an appropriate way, in the right situation, and be very happy and joyful. So, and yet they are also attached to Brahminical nature. It's not that they are unclean or things like that. So, okay, any other comments, additions, questions?
A general comment about earlier Shudra work, Prabhu. If I am cleaning my house to clean the house, then it's a Shudra work. If I am cleaning the house, if this is Krishna's house and I am cleaning this house as Krishna's service, that's still a Brahmana's work. That's how I feel. Just my opinion, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Like Nishkama Karma you just mentioned, it's similar to that.
Thank you, Gandhi Prabhu. So happy to hear from you. You exactly said Bhagavad Gita, I think 3.9 or 10, that whatever activity we do for our own sake, it leads to bondage. Whatever activities we do for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu or Lord Kṛṣṇa, that leads to liberation or back home, back to Godhead. So you exactly made a very important point. If we are doing just my home or sense gratification, then yes, that's binding. If Krishna is the center, and that's basically the Padau Harir Mandir Marjinadishu. Amrish Maharaj's shloka comes using the hands Karau Harir Mandir Marjinadishu. Using the hand Kara to the Kartal, Kar is hands, Kartal. Or Tavakara Kamalvari. So using the hands to clean the temple is the best use of the hands. So thank you so much for that point.
But your home is the temple, then it's not a Shudra work. Keep that in mind.
Yes, that's exactly Prabhuji he said. If one has that intention, then it's not Shudra work. But if one thing it's my home, it's for my enjoyment, then that's Shudra. That's what Prabhuji shared.
Thank you.
That's
Okay. Okay, any other comments or questions, additions? Okay, let's read the next
Hare
verse.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please.
Prabhuji, I have a question, but I don't know it's a right question or what. Prabhuji, why do they say it as Lakshanam, Prabhuji? That is a symptom. Because the forgiveness, simplicity, we think they are qualities. And symptom is something we know that is shown outside, but something is inside. So for these symptoms to be shown outside, is there something to be inside to have the Brahmana qualities as symptoms should be shown outside? Like the word why symptom is used, or is it same like a quality? I have a little confusion in it.
It's on the same lines. Whatever is inside comes outside. Very simple. If we squeeze the orange juice, what will come? Apple juice, mango juice, orange juice will come out. Similarly, if I have full of anger, if someone just squeeze me or say some harsh words, I'll spit out anger because that's what is filled inside my heart. But similarly, those who have filled kindness and love, even if someone squeezes them, so that's basically agitating circumstance, provoking situation, they will release kindness, forgiveness. So whatever that quality was dominant inside, those symptoms will be exhibited. Is it?
Oh, okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you.
It's kind of in the
Prabhu,
same.
may I?
Yes, Nandini Mataji, please.
Dandavats. So I would like to add something. So Prabhupada always said that it's not the qualification based on birth, it's the qualification based on your activities, your inclinations. So this is a person could be 4 or 5 year old child. So at that time you will recognize his qualities by his symptoms. You get the point? This is not by birth. So a parent can recognize to train their child. The parents could be Brahmana, but the child could have inclination to be a Kshatriya. This happens. Okay, I hope that adds. So that's why it's symptoms, because then you can recognize. We have the Jivana Nitya Rupa. As a soul, we are all servants of Krishna. So everything else is a kind of external. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you, Dandavats. Just my understanding.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing that comment. Any other comments, questions before we move to the next verse, 23? Looks like Jyoti Mataji wants to read. Please, you can go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranams to all the assembled devotees. Thank you, Prabhu. Text 23. Deva Gurvachute Bhaktis Trivarga Pariposhanam Astikyam Udyamo Nityam Naipunyam Vaishya Lakshanam. Translation by His Divine Grace Abhay Charna Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Being always devoted to the demigods, the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord Vishnu, endeavoring for advancement in religious principles, economic development and sense gratification, dharma, artha and kama, believing in the words of the spiritual master and scripture, and always endeavoring with expertise in earning money. These are the symptoms of the Vaishya. Back to you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Jyoti Mataji, for reading. So what we can really learn from this is Seva Swamini Amayaya. Swami ki seva without duplicity, Amayaya. Serving this spiritual master without duplicity is what we can really focus on in this verse. Oh, I'm so sorry. I moved on to the next verse. Please forgive me. Endeavoring for advancement in the religious principles, economic development. These are the believing in the words of the spiritual master and scripture. Astika Udyama Nityam. Faith in the scriptures. That's what we can learn from this verse. Having faith in the words of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, in the words of the Supreme Lord, and doing one's best. Everyone has expertise in some or the other skill, like how His Grace Bhadra Prabhu is so expert in organizing such wonderful festivals, Rath Yatras, etc. Nandini Kishori Mataji is expert in book distribution. How Prabir Prabhu is expert in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So many devotees are expert in so many wonderful things. I can go on and on. I'm sorry, I'm not taking everyone's name. Please don't mind. But the point is that, yes, whatever one's area of expert is, like how Srila Prabhupada said to George Harrison, he said, "Oh, I want to give up. I want to just become a shaven-headed monk." Prabhupada said, "No, your expertise is in singing. So you must use it for Krishna consciousness." And then through his expertise in singing, through his skills, he brought thousands and millions of people to Krishna consciousness. So having faith in the words of the Guru and Krishna. Any other comments, questions? Okay, let's read 24 and then we will stop. Who is not read? Would like to read? Anyone? Did everyone read for this week? Yes, Bhadra Prabhu, want to read?
Do you want to read it? Do you want to read?
Yes, please, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you. Done with everybody. Text 24. Sudrasya sanatiha saucham seva swamini amayaya amantra jagyo hi asteyam satyam go vipra rakshanam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Offering obeisances to the higher sections of society, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishyas. Being always very clean, being free from duplicity, serving one's master, performing sacrifices without uttering mantras, not stealing, always speaking the truth, and giving all protection to the cows and Brahmanas. These are the symptoms of the Sudra. Oh my gosh, look at it. Sudra's symptoms are the symptoms of the Brahmana and Vaishyas. Huh? Interesting. Purport. It is everyone's experience that workers or servants are generally accustomed to stealing. That's true. A first-class servant is one who does not steal. Here it is recommended that a first-class Sudra must remain very clean, must not steal or speak lies, and must always render service ritualistic ceremonies along with his master, but he should not utter the mantras, for these may be uttered only by the members of the higher section of the society. Unless one is completely pure and has been raised to the standard of Brahman, Kshatriya, or Vaishya. In other words, unless one is a Dvija, twice born, the chanting of mantras will not be fruitful. Interesting. That's why Srila Prabhupada started Because whole society is Kalo Shudra Sambhava, lower than Shudra even. Considering this qualification of the Shudra, what to say of the present society? Even lower than the Shudra. But it is Srila Prabhupada's mercy, Lord Chaitanya's mercy, that he brought back everybody lower than the Shudra people like me to at least, and giving by initiation and mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, then we are qualified to chant the mantra and come to the Brahmanical Brahman initiation and be following the regular principle chanting 16 rounds. That is a mercy of the, according to this standard, I'm completely lower than that. I mean, come on, but I'm lower than Sudra. But the whole point is the mercy of the Srila Prabhupada, the mercy of Lord Chaitanya is there. And because of that, we are up on the, these qualities are developing and will develop within our heart as the time goes by. That's what it's saying here. Okay. I mean, today everything is topsy-turvy, upside down. Considering this, what we are reading, completely upside down today. I mean, stealing, come on. The Kshatriyas are chosen by who? The Srila Prabhupada says it's not democratic society. Because cheaters are choosing other cheater to the position in the government. So there is no question of Kshatriya, real Kshatriya or Brahman or Vaishya. I mean, something is there in India still, but it's upside down society. So we are fortunate, and we just go on, and as the time goes, as Subhavilas mentioned, as time goes, the Varnashram will establish, but that is not in our lifetime probably. We want to go back to Godhead in this lifetime. No? In future it will happen, because it will happen. Whatever Srila Prabhupada has said, it is coming true and is going to come true as the time goes. So we have to just have a faith and just go on with whatever he's saying and just continue our Krishna conscious process. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So nice. Any other comments, questions before we start for today?
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam. Just one couple of quick comments. So this very clearly shows that Shudra is a very exalted position, and Prabhupada has elsewhere also mentioned this, that Shudras and in the Varnashrama system, they are both very exalted. In Mahatma Prabhu's class, he said that if you read about this description, you would also see that Vaishya is a very exalted position. But it was the only distinction between them and Brahmana, most important. Yes, they are in economic development, but it is very difficult for Vaishya to be forgiving. That quality is really a Brahmanical quality. And when Prabhupada says that, for Shudras, Mahabharata is recommended, it's not really, it's not putting Shudra down, but a Shudra is a very qualified class, and it is actually recommended. Mahabharata is a good recommendation for Shudra to read and advance. And if you go read chapter 7 from Madhya Leela, Adi Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that Lord Chaitanya begged for permission from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and in purport Prabhupada writes, Lord Chaitanya fourth order, he was sannyasi. Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was second class person. He was a householder, but he still asked, because he said that whenever a householder glorifies, and I'm adding to your points, Radha Prabhu, whenever a householder glorifies the Supreme Lord in his home, his activities are immediately transformed into the activities of Goloka Vrindavan. Spiritual activities taking place in the Goloka Vrindavan planet of Kṛṣṇa. And it says about Bhauma Vrindavan, which means here on the earth, the Vrindavan Dham existing on this planet are not different from his activities on the planet Goloka Vrindavan. I just wanted to add that, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Dandavats. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so we will stop here and continue tomorrow with the next verse. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.